UMC is everyone's partner in healthcare, very important part of our medical system here in Clark County.
You know, more than Clark County, really, UMC supports the state. And that's what's so incredible. As we continue this conversation today, there'll be many different venues to UMC that make it just the greatest hospital that we have.
Commissioner, I think the Quick Care, this is probably the first spot where a lot of us have interact with UMC. We come here bring our kids here, or in my case, I got a couple little stitches here a few years ago, but I mean, it's a very important part, once again, of the healthcare system here.
You know, it's extremely important. There are hospitals in the area, but Quick Care is here for a specific reason. If you're not really, you know, I mean, obviously if you're having a heart attack, it's best to go to the UMC hospital. But other than that, for those kids when they fall and they're not certain if they have a broken arm or they need stitches, and some people with colds, I mean, what a great place right in our neighborhood. So when we're talking about in your neighborhood, what's more appropriate than the UMC Quick Care?
10 locations, extended hours, open on weekends, a number of them. Again, the convenience factor, you can't deny that.
You can't. Knowing that you can drive, you know, 5 minutes to 10 different locations, be able to meet your needs close to home, getting to know the doctors and the staff that want the best care possible for you.
And of course, another element of all these quick cares they're also primary care facilities. Many people, myself included at one point, my primary care physician was located right at this place.
Yes, what could you ask for? I mean, everything that you need in one location. And then if there is something that is more extensive, then you can go right to its affiliate and be at the UMC hospital. And the blend of that is just fantastic for the communities, for the people, and the sense of partnership in what we do.
And Commissioner, I know the University Medical Center, I'm sure you must have to explain what the University Medical Center is all about to new constituents or even old constituents sometimes. Just kind of walk us through and tell us again how important it is and what the county's mission is with the University Medical Center.
You know, first of all, University Medical Center is the driving force, I believe, in hospitals in Southern Nevada. You know, for our everyday citizens, for our indigent care, for people on the Las Vegas Strip, it's the trauma center, next to none. You have the burn center, the cardiac center, the kidney transplant, our pediatric unit. It's absolutely incredible that when a child has, let's say there's a car accident, really it is the first place that is ready, willing, able to take care of that child. I mean, when they come in that door, there is a staff that is there 24 hours a day, quite frankly, that can meet that need. There's no other such situation in Clark County. And so you have people from across the state for the burn center, for the trauma center, for the pediatric unit. So UMC is a jewel. And I think sometimes when you have the county name attached to it, people might think of it differently. I've been there. My grandchildren have had surgeries there. It is absolutely fantastic in the care. I mean, it is really very world class in what we do. There's been many awards that have been given, and the staff that work there, it's just incredible what goes on when you open up the door and go in to get that care.
And I think a lot of people then focus on the headlines that UMC lost this amount of money or there's these types of issues, but it's not. It's a not-for-profit hospital, and as the staff here say, they provide a service like the fire department, like the police department does. You cannot put a price tag on this.
You know, obviously we like people to pay, but their care is what ultimately is important to us, so they get the best, whether they're paying or non-paying. But our goal is, we feel like everyone that walks through the door has a responsibility. That's how we can keep the doors open. So whether it's for profit or not for profit or there for everyone's care, people need to be very responsible and know that we want that hospital to be the driving force and continue to thrive in the type of economy that we're in. So the lower the economy, the more people that go to a hospital such as UMC.
Let's shift gears here a little bit, Commissioner. The Southwest Ridge area in the far west part of District F, 3 park areas, some 1,400 plus acres. And I think what's really interesting and what's typical of this, for this park space, you've gone to the community. You've had open houses, you have online surveys where people in the community can kind of tell you what you want to do with these jewels of park space.
You know, they really have. We had a couple hundred people. We had an open house at Forbes Elementary School. We're going to have another one between June 23rd and 27th. That'll be announced. And it was extraordinary, the amount of walkers, bikers, hikers, and eventually if we can continue on going and get funds from some public-private partnerships, it'll be outstanding, possibly even an amphitheater. Could you imagine sitting up there, seeing the Las Vegas Strip as you're in a production, whether it's a play, musical or such. It's extraordinary up there, and you can go up there now, but we want to make it very valuable to all the citizens. It sits in District F, but it's very regional.
And talk a little bit about the topography. This isn't there's going to be, as you say, a lot of different elements to this park, but this isn't just a flat piece of land.
No, it's very rigorous. I mean, in some instances, you'd have to be, you know, a very avid climber to be able to climb, just like some of the different resources that we have in Red Rock. You'd have to have that. Bikers have been out there, you know, bicycles, not motorbikes. So it's pretty extraordinary, but there will be some other areas that we want to make sure that we can meet the needs of all people in the community so that they have a place that they can walk, hike, picnic as it progresses. We're attempting to get money from the SNPLA, which is some BLM funds. We're high up on the list, so we're really looking forward to receiving those.
Tell us a little bit more about how this land became available far up against the mountains in that part of District F.
You know, most of Nevada is BLM owned, so government-owned land. They sometimes will sell some to counties, cities, municipalities, so that we can do this at a better rate than having to purchase it, as we don't always have the funds for that. So there's a process. It's a very diligent process. You compete with the whole state, quite frankly. So it comes from monies where people have bought land, goes into the BLM process, and then we put in there why we think our need is greater than any other need.
Is something else, some private industry that is constructing a water park in District F. The Splash Canyon up in Summerlin, they had a bit of a short delay, but they're expected to be open by about this time, Memorial Day of 2013. Exciting.
That's what they're saying. My hope can be that I met with them about a week ago, and it looks very strong, and it looks like it'll be even bigger than it was going to be proposed, working with a company that could really turn it into an incredible water place to play, enjoy, and it's so needed in our county. So it'll be very exciting to have that in District F.
And it's always encouraging to see groups like this still investing in Clark County and building things here in Las Vegas.
Yes, these are local people that are very vested. They have their families here. They want to see something that is for not just our people that come from out of state, but for our citizens that are here day in and day out, so that we have a place for our kids. It would create jobs on the front end. It'll let our youth that are having a hard time finding jobs, it'll create 200, 300, 400 jobs for them. That'll be seasonal, perfect when they're not in school. And it'll have eventually the aquatic center that will be somewhere in the vicinity that we really need for our swim teams and for everyone that enjoys swimming.